Good morning, blessed children of God. This is Pastor Michael Tego. I'm here to treat with you about marriage. I'm a good marriage as well. If you read the book of Genesis chapter 1 verse 27 to 28, it says God created man in his own image, and he also created a female. A female is a helper of the man. That's how God ordained it. If you read the book of Matthew chapter 19 verse 1 to 12, the Pharisees, the teachers came to Jesus Christ and asked a question from Jesus Christ. He said, is it good to divorce your wife? Because Moses permits we should divorce our wife. And he said, because your heart is hardened. But from the beginning it was not so. What God had joined together, you can't separate it. From the beginning it was not so. But because of their hardness, they desire to divorce, which means that Jesus Christ himself is even against marriage distraction, whereby maybe in a case of less misunderstanding, then you people want to break the marriage. It's not the right thing to do. If we read the book of Malachi chapter 2 verse 14 to 15, God has witnessed marriage. In marriage, we made a covenant with God, and God has witnessed the marriage before his sight. As long as that covenant is not broken, God has counted it as a marriage. That's why it's very important that in any circumstances, the two of you have to solve it, rather than breaking the marriage. God is against it. If we read the book of Ephesians chapter 4 verse 2 to 3, marriage must have these three things in common. That is endurance, humility, and also abiding in love. Is very important. You have to abide in love. If you don't love someone, why should you marry the person? That's what you have to ask yourself. I don't love this person. Why should I marry this person? Is it because of wealth? In a case the person loses everything, what will you do? We don't marry someone because of wealth. It's very, very wrong. Whereby misunderstanding and also the word fleet away, then you start running away from the marriage. You have to marry a partner you trust. There are 5 things which sustain marriage: God first, humility, unity, trust, and understanding. The major one which normally lured away marriage easily is understanding. You have to create understanding between the two of you before the marriage can really succeed. Trust has to be built. You have to trust each other. Sharing ideas, not doing things in secret. That brings suspicions. You have to do things within, whereby you allow your partner to know about it. It really sustains marriage. It's very, very important. You don't have to do things in secret places. Anything you do should be opened. If you read the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verse 9, it says, God himself, two are better than one as well, because they have good return from their labor. Two are better than one. That is Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verse 9. Two are really better than one. But working together as a team sustain the marriage. Whereby there is mistrust in marriage, the marriage cannot stand. So you don't have to create misunderstanding in marriage. No marriage is perfect. The two of you involved can make it perfect. If you bring trust, you abide in love and understanding each other, it will sustain the marriage. It's very important. You have to understand each other in everything you do. It said in the book of Mark chapter 10 verse 9, what God has joined together, no man should separate. So what God has counted is as a marriage, no man or woman should separate it. You don't have to separate what God has counted as marriage. It's very important. Matthew 19 verse 9 says, I tell you that to anyone who divorces his wife and marry another one has committed adultery. He said, I tell you the truth, anyone who has divorced the wife and marry another man has committed adultery. Because the covenant, the vow you made before God stand in the sight of God, and that vow has not been broken. So in a case whereby there is misunderstanding and you leave your partner and marry another person, you have committed adultery. That's how God considers it. Because the covenant is not broken. And he said, do not break what God has joined together. You don't have to break what God has joined together. If you read the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 10 to 11, he said that a wife should not separate from the husband, but if he does so, he should remain unmarried. Kids are in marriage. He said a wife should not separate from the husband. That is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 10 to 11. A wife should not separate from the husband. If he does so, he should remain unmarried. And if you're a wife or a man and you can't stay any further for lack of self-control, then you have to go back again and marry the one you have to marry already, because that covenant stands firm before God. We don't have to break the marriage, because what God has joined together, no man should separate it. We read the book of 1 Corinthians 7 verse 10 to 11. It said, do not deprive from yourself. If you read there, do not deprive from yourself, because the man body does not belong to himself, it belongs to the woman. And likewise, the woman body too belongs to the man. So you don't have to deprive yourself from each other. You have to always be in unity and commit your marriage into prayers. Prayers solve everything. With prayers, it will be successful. If you lack understanding in marriage too, just sometimes consult your pastor, consult those marriage counselors so that they can help you. Do not consult those who will help you to divorce your man or the woman. God established marriage. In the book of Genesis chapter 2 verse 8, he said, it's not good for a man to live alone. I will make a suitable partner for him. A partner who will help the man. Behind a successful man, there is always a woman. And men marriage is not from God. God hates it. So anyone who is practicing it now should stop it. Because one day you will not find rest for your soul. Man and man, woman and woman, God consider it as something he hates in his sight. It is not good to practice that. Why should you practice that? It's very bad. So my beloved, keep away from those kind of practice, because God forbid it. Say, if the end time is near, all these things will come to pass. But who to the one it comes true? Who to the one it comes true? It's like the story of Jesus Christ. Judas Iscariot betrayed Jesus Christ. It's not that if Judas Iscariot did not betray Jesus Christ will not be killed. The secret behind this is that Jesus Christ, God has planned his life, everything on the face of the earth. But truly it will come to pass. By why should it come to pass? Through Peter, his disciple, because of the love of money. That's why he said, woe to the one it come to pass. Marriage is to be honored. Except on marital fulfillment, So anyone who is engaged in marriage now, I advise you to sustain your marriage. Don't deprive each other. And also, with little understanding, you have to solve things together and move on. Because no marriage is perfect. It's only you who can make the marriage a perfect marriage. I pray that God should give you understanding in marriage. Anything you do should prosper. I decree in the name of Jesus Christ that any challenges you are facing in marriage should be broken in Jesus' mighty name. As Satan is against marriage, in the book of Genesis 3, verse 1 to 5, he deceived Eve to separate marriage. Your marriage will never be separated in Jesus' name. Any devourer sent to distract your marriage, I cancel in the name of Jesus Christ. I pray that God should give you people understanding, and God should also be the center of your marriage. And the marriage will be successful in Jesus' mighty name. Nothing can break it because you are a winner. I, Pastor Michael Tego, I'm here to advise you to have a successful marriage. Never break marriage, but sustain it. Any challenges you have, make sure that you solve it and then move on. God bless you all. I really appreciate you and love you all. All my Facebook friends, especially Sister Linda, God bless you very much. And others too as well. I love you all. I pray that all may go well with you as your soul prosper. You will never fail in life. You'll be great and your family will be blessed. Any curse upon you, I cancel in the name of Jesus Christ. Jesus is the center of your life and he will bring you to a good end. Bye bye. God bless you all.